What's up, everybody? Dave over here at Green Hat Kiteboarding, talking to you today about the new North Boost trench board. Gonna actually really reference a lot the Midi. I feel like a lot of people use that as a foil drive board, so I'm gonna be talking about some improvements that you'll see from the Boost, different whiffs that they use, just different outline, and yeah, stay tuned. All right, so first, just looking at the outline compared to the Midi, which I have actually foil driven the Midi before. It always had great connection. I never had any issues. I used it as a prone board as well, and I also winged it. This is actually my 52 liter that I used for a little bit. The thing about the Midi that I sometimes had an issue was when I would get up, I would have a little bit of a hard time getting the nose to stay above water. All right, especially with foil drive, you know, you got to kind of do it quick, and even with a 52 liter board, you still have to really have your balance. This being 18.5 inches wide by 5'2", there were times where I just had a little bit of an issue. So with looking at the North Boost right off the bat, it looks like they gave a wider nose. It looks like they also pushed the wide point up. That's what this blue tape is right here. So the wide point is now 4 inches above center. What that's allowing you to do is have a good amount of the literage right underneath, kind of where you would be paddling and or popping up. It is now 19.5 inches wide on a 5-foot board, which is pretty wide. It's kind of funny because when foil drive was more introduced to the market, everybody was saying narrower is better, but the problem with going too narrow with foil drive is you still have to use this trigger and then pop up with one arm. So trying to balance that has always been an issue, especially guys that don't have a surfing background. I found really have an issue trying to find that sweet spot without using both hands. So 19.5 inches wide actually doesn't sound too far off, especially for someone that wants easeability in not only maybe their first time doing it, but also potentially doing it in rougher seas. Maybe they're doing downwind stuff, maybe they're in the surf, maybe they're just in a bay with a lot of boat traffic, they want to wake thief. This will give you a lot more stability, especially on your pop-up. So with that, they've also given a wider tail from what it looks like. It's giving you a little bit more room. They have a nice little kick pad on the back right here, so that way you can easily just use your back foot and plop yourself up. They also did a nice little cutout right here, I suppose, so that way you can kind of put your knees in, makes it a little bit more comfortable, especially if you're going, you know, let's say the waves are breaking really far out and you're gonna stay on your stomach for a while. You're gonna kind of putt, take your time. This makes it a little bit more comfortable. While we're staying on the top of the board, let's just talk about something fun that Mike, the designer, decided to do. Again, had no problem with connection issues with the Midi, but they still managed to keep the same style layup. So it is very, very foil drive friendly. Obviously, something that Mike did that I kind of dig is he did this little bump right here, and you have almost this little system of where to remember to put your foot, and or you can look down and say, hey, this feels really good when my feet is right around here, here, or here. These are really good reference points, especially when you're using foil drive. You're kind of constantly changing your footing, but let's talk about the trench. So when we're looking at the trench, you can see it's a pretty big dugout. It is kind of on the bigger side from what I feel a lot of people are doing. And the reason for that is because it's extremely universal. Now, with just seeing the way that this sits, There's just a little bit of area where the foil drive still stands a little higher. The best part is that it allows you to take the nose cap off and the battery out very easily. All you have to do is just click these, gives you enough room. I think that's super important. The biggest thing with trench boards is that they were so custom to particular brands that unfortunately, if you needed your mast way far up, you couldn't get your nose cone out. So this gives you a ample amount of room. The other thing that I thought was kind of cool, you can actually carry it. Even with the foil drive in the board, you still have room to actually carry this board from this. Now, is it as good as a handle? No. But where would you put a handle? I wouldn't want to put any more weight in any of these spots. Speaking of weight, this board, 5.0, 40 liters, coming in at 8 pounds. It feels like the lightest 8 pounds that I've actually picked up. I was really impressed with that. And overall, it has, as far as where the water would come in, it has this little bit of V right here going to pretty flat, and then all of this is obviously very flat. Going back to the top, rocker entry, it's got a good amount of rocker up at the nose, but then goes very, very flat here. The rocker in the nose is obviously to help with going over swells, things of that sort. Also, when you are pushing off the nose to get up, it's nice to have a little bit of rocker. I am going to show you a clip from AWSI. Mike, the designer for North products, kind of explains some really cool features that go along with the integrated mast and this board. Makes it very easy to take the whole system completely off the board, that easy.
You'll remember that we've got the drop box. So what we've done with the drop box is we've flicked it around the way. Because these move forward, they slide forward and they fall out. So now we've moved the drop box, we've flipped it 180, so that if, because I lost 2 of these by them coming loose over time and flying forward, you can drop it, lock it in, slide it forward. You've got the measurement here and here. I can tighten it out. You watch this, ready? This is super cool. So I'm going to crank this up here. So that's fully in place now. If you want to undo this, you watch how quickly this is. So I'm now going to undo that the other way. 1 twist, 2, 1 twist for that one. One more fraction half on this. 1 twist for here. And then 1 twist for here. Okay.
Wow. Oh, look at that.
So they keep it orientated. So the coolest thing, these will keep it aligned, and there's a spring here that always keeps it nice and straight and means you don't have to readjust it. So quickly on and quickly off. You'll notice here also we've made these little blocks in here that stop all the water getting into the gaps. Remember, a lot of the time you probably don't realize, but you're carrying around all this water, and that's reducing your signal. So I mean, again, signal optimization, how do you improve it?
Yeah,
same as the foam. Yeah, same sort of concept. But with this board, because there's no carbon under here, you don't have this signal. It's massively signal optimized. So again, I'm going to pop that back in.
Oh yeah, it says signal.
It's lined up straight away. Slide it forward. 1 twist to tighten. 1 twist to tighten. 1 twist to tighten. How quick is that? If you don't want to, it doesn't matter. The boost board has a really nice wide channel here, so I can really easily, if I want to change the battery in here, I can take it out. I can use a tool if I want.
And of course, everybody's going to be curious about the Fusion system, Foil Drive's newest, longest running, but also bigger system. Does it fit in the North trench board, the boost? And yes, it does. We got these in stock. I got the 5-foot version like I have here. I also have the 5.3 by 45 liters. I believe it's 20 inches wide in stock. If you have any questions about the North Boost trench foil board, feel free to reach out, 732-284-3800. And if you got some knowledge from this and you want to give a little back, please like, comment, subscribe to our channel, all that fun stuff. And I hope you guys learned something. And until next time, go get on foil. Peace.